Hello fellow island riders, glad to have you along for the adventure again today. Our adventure takes us to an undisclosed location. A little bit, we're out for a bit of a hike. I was going to bring the snowshoes and I don't know if I'm going to regret that or not. The snow is actually quite hard packed. We got some rain and then we got some snow, so that works out. But anyway, the goal for today and today's video is to try to solve a bit of a problem that I have with preparing meals in camp. Now I have a MotoCamp loadout that I take on my motorcycle, the KLR 650, the Silver Fox. And normally it doesn't include a lot of room for a cook set or for meals in camp. I usually rely on taking and having stops and going to restaurants and things like that. But I want to unlock that. And especially now since I got that brand new Tusk Pilot Pannier bag system, the new luggage on the motorcycle, I've got an extra 20 liters of pack volume to play with. And that's the perfect amount to get a good cook set in there and to start planning meals for camps. So in order to solve that problem, I'm going to take a little inspiration from my Work 2.0. And then we're going to take a look today at a Canadian Armed Forces ration. And we're going to tear that down and we're going to eat it. And usually when I do these kinds of things, I get inspiration. So that's my route to solve the problem. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I've got a location picked out to kind of square that away. It's less about the hike today. It's more about that, more about solving that problem, more about, taking a look at that. So I'm going to head down the way there and I'll pick you up maybe a little bit along the way and when we get into that location. So right about now is where I'd usually talk about the trail that I'm hiking. But today I'm just kind of out in an area where I like to go to, kind of test things out, prove concepts, get inspiration, and just kind of let the brain space open up a little bit. Because that's what good hiking is for right there for me. So we're in an undisclosed big field out in Prince Edward Island, which is really good. Prince Edward Island, as you know, is known for a lot of agriculture, so there's lots of really huge fields. I've actually been out here a couple times tracking foxes and coyotes and things like that. But one of the things I wanted to talk about instead, more about going into the hiking, was more about this whole meal situation, this ration thing. So there's a reason why I don't do a lot of videos on Work 2.0 stuff, like for the Army, which is what I do as a part-time job, because I'm interested in it and it's fun. And the reason for that is just that there's a lot of process, a lot of procedure when it comes to setting that up. So if I want to do a video on something that involves the Army, that I got to go up through the chain of command, I got to talk to them and I got to get approval and stuff. But I figured, I have one of these rations lying around after being out in the field once, a pretty light subject. So I went through the process. I went up to my superior and asked them. They gave me the okay. They gave me a couple things that I had to do just to make sure it was all good. And I've done those things. So I'm able to present this for you. So I'm excited to do that because it's really good. It's I actually personally enjoy rations. I know I'm in the minority with that, but I actually I like going out, of course, camping and stuff, and I like it when I get issued rations for my my little adventure that I go on with the Army. So that's cool. All right, so I've got pretty much everything set up, and so let's dig into it a little bit. So what we're going to be taking a look at today is Canadian Armed Forces breakfast ration. Yeah, so this is a hash browns and bacon, one of my personal favorites. So I guess one question is why do I have this to begin with? Well, the reason I have this ration is a lot of times when I get sent out for Work 2.0 to work in the field, they'll issue me a bunch of rations so that I can eat them. And typically what ends up happening is, because I have a really good unit that I work for, the higher ups usually set up some prepared hot meals in the evenings for when we get back in, and that's really awesome. That happens quite a lot. So what ends up happening is one of my rations just doesn't get used, and it just stays in my my rucksack until the end, and then I just kind of hold on to it until it gets bad and I throw it. Or I have an opportunity like this so I can share it a little bit. So let's dig into this a little bit, and then I'll kind of go through what how I prepare it. All right, so here we are. Let's tear into it, I guess, and kind of go over some of the key parts. So this thing is just full of stuff. You can see it's all boxed up inside. Yeah, so let's pull out some of the stuff. So the main things we got, it's kind of a little bit of a dessert here. So what do we got? We got fruit cocktail. Oh my God, I don't like fruit cocktail. What are you gonna do though when you live in a shoe? Next, there's the main meal section, which is this guy, which is the hash browns and bacon. And they got some nice nutritional information on there. Yeah, there's that. Some other stuff. Let's see, that to the side. Hamburger bun. This is key, actually. This is key. I actually really enjoy this. So we'll set that to the side. I'll show you kind of what I do with it. What else do we got in here? Oatmeal, banana oatmeal. I am not eating this. I don't eat the oatmeal stuff. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't hit right. We'll see what we can do, but I don't know. Some peanut butter. We put that with the hamburger bun right there. Peanut butter. Beurre d'arachide. We got some matches. You know, those are important. Put those with the lighter. Tic Tacs, because, you know, after you eat this, you probably have some pretty terrible breath. Probably have terrible breath anyway if you've been staying out in the field for a long enough time, so. We have a drink mix, very awesome stuff. Orange sport drink. We'll put that over by the water as well. And another one, just in case you wanted two, or if you wanted to double down on the intensity. And, oh, we got raspberry jam on this one. Raspberry jam. I haven't already figured out what I do with that. Red hot sauce. This is good. This is actually really awesome. You get Tabasco sauce with this. So you know what I do with this? I hold on to this. I stuff this into my pocket. And then when I'm working a late night shift and I need to wake up, bam! Throw the red hot or the Tabasco sauce into you. All right, what else do we got in here? Espresso, roast coffee. Coffee. This is important for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. But that's nice. We'll put that over with the drink stuff too. All right, chocolate drink mix. This is new. I've not ever seen chocolate drink mix before. I've usually only seen terrible tasting vanilla, but chocolate. I think this might be a first for me today. We'll put that also with the drinks. So you can see by this ration, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. I'm pretty hungry after that. So we got another napkin and we got the spork. This is a really good spork actually. As far as sporks go, nice and long, very decent. Put that right there. Another napkin. That over in this business here. And the last thing that we have is this little plastic bag, which is actually pretty sweet. Okay, this is the beverage bag. So this is where you prepare like your sports drink and stuff and your coffees and things. If you don't have a mug on you. I always keep, you know, the mug on me whenever I go out. So I don't really use these, but I'll tell you what I do, or what I used to use them for. I have a bigger phone now, but this is a popular ration hack, if you will. For smaller phones, you just kind of tuck them in like that, and then you seal it up at the top, and then you can still like gain access to it, and you can still like tap around. So this is like a key thing. You used to be able to seal it up, and that way when you're sitting out in the rain all the time, you don't have to worry about your phone getting messed up. It's usually all safe, right? All right, so let's get to making some of this stuff up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a coffee. All right, so while we get that ready, why don't we prepare ourselves a peanut butter and jam sandwich. So let's grab this and some condiments. There you go, look at that beautiful bun. Oh yeah, wouldn't you want to eat that? Look at that, eh? How is it still so fresh? Peanut butter on there. Some delicious jelly on there. Oh, look at that. Raspberry jelly. What do you think of that stuff? It looks black. It tastes like raspberry, trust me. You just wedge those guys together. Give them a little bit of a twist. There you go. Peanut butter and jam sandwich, folks. Doesn't taste dry at all. Trust me. This is good though. I'll tell you, I'll eat this and love every minute of it. You know, when I'm out there. That's warm enough there. All right, espresso, anyone? You can see it's just like instant coffee, eh? I'll use the big sport. That's soup. That's actually, you know what? The coffee that I have in moto camping, you know, my own special brew of Maxwell House Instant plus sugar and mixed together, it's not as good as this, that's for sure. Yeah, it's got a kick to it. That's really good. That tastes like espresso too. It's not bad. Like I said, warm hot coffee, if you could put that together on a weekend where you've been in the rain and in the mud, this is pretty awesome stuff. Let me tell you. This guy here. Now for the main course. Let's see if I can squeak this out. No longer get to use that as my little table. So, hash browns and bacon. There we go. So, there it is. So, how do I prepare these normally? Well, what I end up doing is, you know, I tear this guy off like that. And then it's just like, sits in here like this, and then I'll just like eat it cold. Eat it cold. Yeah, I eat it. Usually I end up eating these guys cold. And they're actually not too bad cold. Again, when you're starving, right? But normally what I'll do is I'll have like a whole bunch of these. We'll have like a big box of these things. And like if it's my job to get up and make food, I'll get up in the morning way before everybody else, and I'll get a Coleman stove going and a couple pressure cookers. And what I'll do is I'll take about like 5 of these, like out of the box, obviously. 5 of these out of the box. And I'll put like a little bit of water in that pressure cooker, and I'll stick 5 of them in, jam it down, fire up the Coleman stove, and let that thing go to work, and I'll have 2 of them chilling there. And then basically what that does is it just cooks them inside this, and it makes them super hot, super good to eat. But here's the note. Here's the thing to note. And if you buy any kind of ready-made meal that you take out camping anytime, if you end up doing that situation where you have a pot and you put boiling water and then you put this pouch in the boiling water and you heat it up that way, that pot is written off. All right. You can't eat anything out of that pot anymore. If you've been doing that, I don't like, I mean, you know, maybe you just don't know or whatever, but like the plastics, the polymers, whatever that goes into the material that is in this package is leaching out into the water and leaching into like stainless steel and things like that. So anything that you make afterward, any water that you boil afterward is going to be contaminated with those impurities. So if you use a pot to boil ready-made meals like this, or if you're watching this ration and you actually eat rations and then you share pots, or like sometimes people will like use kettles and things. And once you put one of these in there and boil it, that is written off. You write rations on it, and that's all it's used for boiling rations. But today we're not. We're actually going to use the jet boil again. How's that? What do you think of that? Can you see it? No? Trust me, it tastes good. That'll do it. All right. What's it taste like? Tastes like salt. Tastes like salt. That's what it is. No, it tastes like they're potatoes. And like I said, all this stuff is cooked, right? It's like a ready-made meal, like you would buy at like some camping outfitter store or something like that. But it's a good meal. It's not bad. So what are my least enjoyed rations? I would have to say salmon is least. Indian chicken is really good, but I guess I'm talking about least enjoyed. Yeah, I think salmon. It's good like once or maybe like once when you're out, but if you eat that like 3 or 4 days in a row, yeah, no thank you. All right, what else do you want to make? Dessert? You want to see what the dessert looks like? Let's take a look at the dessert. So today's dessert is fruit cocktail. Again, like I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of fruit cocktail, but like you see, it comes in one of these here too. So, a little hack on this one too, a little ration hack, if you will, life hack, ration hack. You can actually boil this up with your main meal, and it warms it up a little bit. I wouldn't warm it up too much, but I like, I think my favorite dessert in rations would be pears. I'm not, I think that, and sliced apples. Sliced apples. Oh man. Sliced apple dessert. That gets me going. Pour it right out into our little jet boil cup. Stash that garbage. I'm not going to leave any garbage around today. There you go. I will say, usually when you get into eating this stuff, you don't have a lot of time to eat it. It's usually just firing it into you because it's kind of nice to like kind of chill out and enjoy it a little bit with you guys. Usually I'm just like dumping it. No cooking whatsoever. Cold. Boom. Into the system. Let's go. Awesome. Oh, that was good too. That was really good. Let's make a sports drink. Let's do that. So the way you make this is you take this little bag here. We're making orange today. Orange sports drink. This is fun. This is fun to do, eh? Like, I like doing this kind of stuff. I'm going to drain it in there. Now this is if you're not using it. I'm just going to show how the bag works, basically. So you got a couple lines on the bag. Well, you used to have a couple lines. It's only one bag now. One line. There used to be one for like, do you want pure sugar? Or do you want Gatorade? So basically the two options you had. So you would fill it to whatever line. I think we're going to go for, I guess they found the middle ground there now. There's only one. Whoa, too much. Looks like we're drinking Gatorade. That's all right. So once you do that, you seal her all up. Check the seal. Shake it all up. There you go. Sports drink. Delicious sports drink. Not too shabby. There we go. That is a Canadian Armed Forces breakfast ration. And it is just as good as I remembered it. That was pretty fun. I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to clean all this up and make sure I pack out whatever I packed in and try to reduce the amount of trace that I have in this little area here. I love this little area. This is really nice. But that pretty much wraps up everything that goes into one of these, and it varies. You know, I guess you have them for there's lunch ones too that are really good. They come with like a chocolate bar, but I enjoyed it. I enjoy eating rations when I go out, and I'm glad I had one left over that I could share with you folks. So I hope this has been entertaining for you. I hope this has been a fun video for you to enjoy. And I think overall, what I learned from what I get in as far as like inspiration for like making a moto camping cookout is to try to find some sort of ready meal equivalent to this. And I think what I want to do too is definitely got to get a frying pan, a cook set with a frying pan in there. I have like a lot of extra water that I'll be bringing too, because I feel like if I'm going to cook meals in camp, I'm going to have a lot of extra water. I wish I had a little bit more water. I should have brought two jugs today. But yeah, so extra water is going to be a big thing. But yeah, I am looking forward to the kind of meals that we'll prepare once we get out there and go moto camping again. And it's almost time to start doing that kind of stuff. You know, spring is just around the corner. It may be a lot of snow around us here now, but spring is just around the corner. So if you are interested in coming along for more and seeing some of those motorcycle adventures where we go camping and maybe into the future, I strongly recommend that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But until the next time we ride, if you are riding your bikes or if you're out adventuring or out hiking or camping, do it safely. You know, ride safe, camp safe, adventure safe. And until the next time we meet, Island Riders, till we're next goofing around out here in the woods or if we're out on the bikes, take care.